Hello and welcome everyone to a new Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era video. In this one, I am going to be doing a template guide. So there's 5 templates in the current pool, and this is going to be the first one that I'm doing. I'm going to be playing through a game of Exodus versus Unfair AI, which is actually really strong by the way, and I will show you everything that you need to do and know in order to win a game. So I'm going to be explaining all of my thought process, what you should be considering in your games, and how to win Exodus. So we are going to be jumping into a game, and we're going to be doing it so it's going to be repeatable for you. Every single one of the template guides I'm going to be doing on a different faction, and I'm going to be trying to make it so the faction is like relatable, it's actually not permanently banned. So Temple is very usually available. It's like middle of the pack faction that usually gets through like the pick and ban phase. The outstanding heroes would be Ister. Pretty often he actually, gets through the ban phase and you can play him, and he would be the best for the format because he's a log specialist. However, we're not gonna play him. Other standouts are gonna be Mandel, it's gonna be Kestrel, so you're gonna be able to play one of these heroes for sure. We're gonna pick something simple, and also something that I haven't played before, just to show you that, you can almost pick up anything viable, and, you're gonna have like a really good time. So if you want to practice it the way that I am doing right now, you should set the economy at unfair 125%, enemy strength at unfair 125%, and the AI is going to be unfair. Hopefully I'll be able to beat it. Honestly, I don't really have like much practice against the AI. However, I'm dueling like 3,000 plus top of the ladder people, so honestly, I think I'll be fine. I sure hope so. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So whenever you're going to be generating a map, in the higher ratings you can actually regenerate the map when you get to like 2000 rating, or if you play against anybody that is 2000 rating, you're going to be having one reset available for you. So if you don't like your initial map, you can just like veto it and just get a new one, and the other player is going to be able to do the same. At 3000 plus rating, you actually get 2 resets, which is the way that Heroes 3 was originally played. Well, I mean, the way that we played it up until the very release of Olden Era, and still do. So yeah. We are playing John Johnson. So we are going to be having a lot of army in the form of swordsmen. And we spawn into a map that is going to be pretty poor. Well, rich and poor. It's not going to be having like anything tremendous, however it's going to be having like many small things for you to do. You're going to be starting with 2 towns that are connected by a road, and into your little zone there's also going to be a 3rd town that is going to be here. How do I know this? Well, the minimap usually makes a triangle with the 3 cities, and so you can just assume where that city is going to be. And hopefully there's only one road to the south, otherwise you actually just kind of have to do some guesswork. So at the beginning of the game you have to like worry about a few things, okay? What you're going to be doing with your towns is usually you're going to be having like one town be providing you army, and then you're going to be having your other town be providing you with already income. So on this format, getting a lot of gold income is going to be very important, because all of the army that you're going to be getting is going to be from dwellings and your towns. So you want to make sure that these towns are heavily developed, invested, so you can have a good game of Exodus. The way that the template works is that we will be having victory points. It is a tournament win condition map. So that means every like 10 days or so, we are going to be summoned into a battle against the AI. In this case, it will be against another player on the ladder, and we will fight. This fight will be completely inconsequential. Any army losses, any man losses, nothing will count. And we're going to be just continuing the game as normal after the fight. However, one of us will be walking away with a victory point. And the victory point, when you get to 2 victory points, you win. So it's just like a tournament best of 3 with a fight every 10 days. So, you also get TP that you can use once a day for 0 mana. This is a very, very useful tool. So, we would like to get our ore mine and wood mine so we can be developing towns easily. So we can see no mines over here, and we can see the ore pit over here, and we can also see the observatory, which is going to be very useful for making a plan. And making plans is going to be, one of the more important things that you can do here. So we're just going to be picking up our army. because we are playing, you know, John Johnson, he specializes in our tier 1 brothers. Because of that, we would like to get them upgraded, but we can already like plan a little bit ahead and be like, well, at some point I'll TP to the other town, because this town also has army to pick up, and if I'm gonna be TPing here, maybe I can upgrade my swordsman when I'm rallying the others. So that's exactly what I will do. So I will walk out without upgrading, and we will just, well, yeah, not build anything yet. There's usually gonna be an observatory that you can pick up pretty easily. So we can see what our generated map is all about. So low tier dwellings are going to be like a very important thing. We can already see like a tier 1 dwelling over here for swordsmen. We can see an angel dwelling. This would be very exciting for me, as I love playing angels, but in this case I think I will not do that. And we also have Legion Boot, which in this template is actually an amazing artifact, with which you're going to be able to generate 50% more growth. So it's like building level 2 fortifications in all of the towns simultaneously, which is really good. We can already see like a tier 2 dwelling over here, and we can see 2 roads to the south, which means that we're going to be having to 50-50 where our town is. And it's maybe not exactly a 50-50. I'm leaning like 70% here and only like 30% here, maybe even less on this one. So yeah. Maria's altars are very, very good objectives. You just fight like some quaddles that are usually easy to handle and you get like a bunch of gold. Trophy Hunter Dens are also one of the best early game objectives. You just fight like sturdy walking dudes that just walk at you, very abusable, and you get gold for it. So yeah, every single good game of Exodus starts with an ore pit and sawmill. So we are going to be just like picking those up. And as you're pathing through things, make sure to pick up as much stuff as you can. And you can be clicking space in order to collect everything around you. You don't have to like click in every individual pile. As you can see, I'm just clicking space and collecting all of that. So now we have ore and wood unlocked on day 1. Usually, with how much build-out you're doing, 1 sawmill and 1 ore pit might not even be enough for everything. But for now it'll do. We have like a pretty good opportunity to be heading south here. But what we will actually do is we will just TP over to this town. Wait, is there anything else that we can pick up? I actually could have picked up the Griffin Rookery, but whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna go back. Wow, there's a road here. I don't actually understand these roads, but that's the adventure of Exodus. The map is not like super strict, you just kind of get like guidelines. So I want to be upgrading Garrison, but we may as well do that on the next turn. We can already be benefiting from quite a bit of gold. So we're going to be building Solar Temple 2, and we double build this for gold. So now our gold income from day 1 is 2.5k, very respectable. And we can just end our turn 1 with a little bit of moves remaining, but whatever. Now I can pick up the other swordsmen, and we can upgrade them too. When it comes to these upgrades, most usually Sun's Aegis is quite a bit better than Guard Captain if you're going to be using them as meat, as just like sturdy dudes. However, when using them as a power stack, I believe that Guard Captains are going to be the ones for us. So that's exactly what we will do. We could also like min-max and have like one Sun's Aegis. You know what? Yeah, sure. I'll be cute and do this. So now we have our power stack and we're going to be able to do some content. So I believe that, yeah, getting the first down is usually like something that you would like to do if you can, and there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to. So, but we can also like plan in advance on what we're going to be doing along the way. For example, this Maria's Altar is like decently close to the road, so we can like hit up the Maria's Altar, continue heading south, pick up the Muse. It's like a low tier dwelling. Those are really important and good, so let's go ahead and do that. We can pop in here and immediately go for the Maria's Altar. 5 quaddles. So yeah, as I said, these objectives are very easy to handle. You just guard yourself in a corner. And we want to make sure that the Sun Aegis doesn't die, if we can do that. Yeah. And this silly little beast will be coming over to us. It will kill one of the front guys. But that's okay because we have ourselves covered, so we can just hit it a lot now. Heroic strike it. If you have range units, you don't even have to like open up. You can just like stay behind cover and you're gonna be fine. Because we don't have we don't have enough range units, we will need to be bleeding here a little bit. 4 swordsmen. For this much gold in the early game, it is going to be worth it. Then, in terms of level ups, you don't really need to like micromanage these like too much, you just need to be vaguely aware of like good skills and then just pick them up. I don't really find righteousness that cool, so I'm going to be trying to skip it as much as I can. So we'll just go for defense, and we can go for cover. Just taking like less range damage is going to be very useful, because we're kind of like good on melee. Abandoned mansions can also be like pretty good objectives to do. We could also go for like this crystal mine. If I was like playing angels or like shooter squad, I would probably do that. But for now, there's like not exactly a reason to. I'm thinking that maybe we want to go for cavaliers. I don't usually play them, so this is gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be going a little bit outside my comfort zone. But because I'm playing melee army, I feel like maybe I want to make further melee army commitments. This would be doable, but I think a little bit too lostful. So we will ignore this. We'll pick up XP along the way. We have the option for combat, which would mellow out the difficulty of early game content, because we would be able to effortless strike, and we would also be able to go for leadership. So, you know, not only Mandel can go for combat, John Johnson will make a good combat hero too. And then we'll go for even more gold investment, Solar Temple too. I prefer these over the bank because this one also provides us law points and astrology, which we will need down the line. We can't completely forget about those. And Solar Temple lets us get everything at the same time. I don't really need any laws yet. I mean, we're always picking up resource riches. This is just like too good of a point to ever pass up, so we can just like click that immediately. So that is our day TM. So now we have our plan. We're heading south, looking for the town, and picking up everything that we deem as good along the way. Yeah. Also, yeah, this is my first John Johnson game. At least ever since the, early access, maybe? Just wondering how to do the fight. Honestly, I think we'll just need to tank it. If I was smarter, I could have gotten a guard captain to go to the other side of the battlefield a little bit earlier, and that would have baited them away, at least one of them. I could still kind of do that, but this guy is going to be reaching our crossbowmen no matter what, so we may as well just fight by this point. So that's what I will do. Maybe morale? No luck. Okay, we only lose one guy. One guy is gonna be acceptable. A little bit of bleeding here and there is honestly an inevitable part of life. So we'll not fight it too much, we'll just move on. Battlecraft is deemed as a pretty good skill by the collective consensus. I'm not part of that collective consensus, I hate it. Shields and shells, enemy creatures deal -1 damage. This might seem actually pretty bad, but it's actually like a very important skill because it reduces their base damage by 1. So like, let's say there's we're fighting skeletons and they're, let's say, dealing like 2 to 3 damage. This ability would make their 2 to 3 damage, which is average 2.5 damage, go down to 1 to 2 damage, which is only 1.5 damage, almost reducing their damage by half. So this, when you're fighting early game stuff, is insane. Since we can pick it up early, and we're already like playing for tankiness, I feel like shields and shells will be a very good fit for us. You know? Not like using any predetermined rules, just like kind of like reacting, thinking, and doing things like so. Black towers are really hard. They're kind of like early game objectives, but I find them usually too hard and too bleedful, so I usually shy away from them. Unless I'm confident for a specific reason or another. So yeah, this has got to be our third down and the last down in our starting zone. So yeah, we're just going to be sticking in the corner, making sure that they can't hit anything too important. At least early on. And now we can just like walk out and deal with them. And we have a heroic strike available, we can shoot. And we'll also give them a different option of what to hit. The tankier bro. And yeah, they were not really able to do anything. Goodbye. So we can be developing now this town as well for like further resources and income and whatnot. So if you notice, we are already kind of like running a little bit low on wood and ore, so we would like to find some more. And now we need to make like a new plan. So this plan was a huge success. We started off from we rallied army here. After picking up the resources, we got some gold along the way, some XP along the way, some army along the way, and now we have a new town. Right now I would like to path in a way that I would maybe be likely to find some more wood and ore because I want to be developing even more. And I also really want to hit up the boots here if I can on week 1, as this would be a very immense amount of army growth available for us throughout the game. However, we see like with this Trophy Hunter Den, and as I told you, Trophy Hunter Dens are awesome because they have, yeah, they're really easy gold. We also have like another tier 2 dwelling over here as well, which we will be able to indulge upon. Then creature laws are going to be pretty good, especially the first point, because they give you quite a bit of growth. So you see them, the first point gives you 4 growth, the second point would give you no extra growth, just a little bit of stat. So we probably want both of these, because we are going to be relying on army income a lot here, and we're also going to be getting some ranks for free. Oh, yippee! And yeah, I want to be developing, so I can afford a bank, so I'll build a bank. Actually, I feel like maybe this Byzantine temple would have been better, but that's not really that tight. It's not really that deep. We could have put our faith into magic to get astrology a little bit sooner. Sometimes I would do that, but right now we have like 0 knowledge, so we're not realistically going to be able to like use the control spells that soon quite yet. So yeah, that is our third day done. Our gold income is sitting at 5.2k. We still have like some resources going, and our hero is becoming a someone. Very good. We got a freebie art team, and yeah, we fight some big walking dudes. So these dudes deal a lot of damage, so by the time that you're going to be striking any stag that would actually matter, you really want to have gotten them pretty low by that point, you know? So we'll be using our not very big range province here to do some work. And then we can just use a 1 stack in order to take the retaliation, and yeah, we can just hit them as much as we possibly can. Making sure to not block our main stack, who is going to deal all the damage. Do 1 stacks for quite a bit of gold. Offense is excellent in most cases, but advanced combat helps us out a lot too. But no, I will not skip out on offense, it is amazing. Oh yeah, and we get wood and ore here. Useful. Then dwellings are also like pretty good. If it was like a little bit further away, by this point I actually would have shied away from doing it. Especially because we're not really focusing on tier 2. We just kind of got fed a lot of it. So, you know, here we are. I would like wood more than I would like ore. The reason for that is simple, because we're going to be looking to play for maybe Cavaliers. I mean, it looks interesting, it looks fun, so I kind of just want to do it. Especially as I've never done it before. But that requires like an a very high amount of wood. So if I was a sawmill, there's 2 sawmills and 2 ore pits at the starting zone, and they're usually like somewhat road focused. So if you see like a lot of roads, then you can low-key guesstimate where the rest of it will be. What we could do is we could actually go for the scouting skyship to try and find it. This is like a special building in our temple, you know. You use all the tools in your disposal. We actually even have a dwelling for Cavaliers, which will make our plan even better. And we have a research laboratory where you fight big bad dragons for a lot of gold and some items. Another tier 2 dwelling, a decent little artifact for defensiveness. And there is our sawmill. So okay, the next plan I shall deem as such. I want to go through... Well, actually there's like a tier 1 dwelling, our Cavalier dwelling. Then we have a haunted mansion over here that we're probably going to be able to do by that point, by the point that we're there. So yeah, we're gonna like sweep through like this. Yeah, like this. And hopefully end up with a Legion boot by the end of the week. If we can do that, then that would be just absolutely amazing. But before we do that, I also would really love to upgrade our Muse. You know, so we can have some Ostingers or Marksmen. So that would be really nice. And if we want to do that, I think that we have to do it in the main town, Sunspire. So we could use the current turn's dimension door in order to go here and get the upgrade. And then we can use the next turn's TP to like start the journey that we have set out. I mean, yeah, that we kind of made for ourselves. So we're just going to be using the rest of our movement points, like in whatever way. Honestly, I'll take some gold here. But because I have like ambitious plans for build out, I feel like gold is gonna be good. When you're pretty deliberate about such pickups, then gold is good. But if you don't like necessarily need gold, then usually you just go for XP. Or if you're looking for like a very specific level up that enables things. This is Sigil that would give us logistics, battle magic, or wisdom sub-skills. But we don't have any of these skills and we're not really planning to have them, so it's fine without. So yeah, now we can come back. Because we're like a might guy, we're not really worrying about the mage guild or anything like that. I feel like that's completely fine. And once again, we can actually start off with a bank first and then come back for the... for the muse after. You know, because we can use the gold income in order to accomplish this instead. So yeah. That is our day 4. We have like a new plan. So we're going to be executing on this plan. And now we upgrade the muse. And we will be going... Okay, let's look at the kind of content that we're going to be doing. What? Yeah. In the Hippodrome... so basically marksmen are only better when you really need initiative or when you're fighting range units. Marksman would be better here because we need the initiative. Better here because we need the initiative, and better here. But honestly, we're probably going to be fine with Ostingers, and I really like the extra damage as well. So yeah, we can go for Elite Crossbowman. Then this law, Swift Reflexes, is amazing. We're not building Lightweavers or Griffins, so we don't really care about those laws. So what we care about is potentially morale, maybe gold, and also Swift Reflexes in this tier are going to be amazing. So yeah, now that our army and hero are looking better, we're just going to be moving on to the next stage of our journey. Where hopefully everything is going to turn out fine. And yeah, I'm still going for some gold. Yeah. So let's just go in. We are already strong, especially against low tier creatures, because we have like the -1 base damage. So for example, these parasites are only dealing 1 to 2 damage. They were probably dealing 2 to 3 before we got the shields and shells. But by this point, their damage is pathetic and negligible. So that's awesome. You can see, yeah, we are getting like really, really tanky. And most heroes are going to be able to like do a lot of like these sort of things, which in one way or another trivialize the game, which is awesome. So yeah, our swordsmen here are really strong, so we're gonna be able to just bash things down. Ooh. These guys we can't one-shot, so we're just gonna make a wall. Because they're long reach, we can't really like block next to their faces. Okay, they actually just died to the Ostingers. Very good. Leadership we might want to pick up because we're gonna be... Because we have combat, we're gonna be going for... You know, like some heroic strike shenanigans, and leadership is really good because it will provide us with inspiring strike down the line. But if we wanted to be strong immediately, we could pick up any one of these others, but we're going to be like thinking a little bit ahead. And maybe I can afford some XP by this point. I'm feeling a little bit rich. We don't have the initiative yet, unfortunate. Probably dwellings give a lot of law points, by the way. So even if you don't want to play for like some specific units, if you're pathing through dwellings, you kind of want to flag them. Because yeah, it's just a lot of law points. So yeah, as you can see, like the battle setups are gonna be like, most of the time, very similar. You just kind of like set up, and then you unload. Oh, we're actually gonna suffer here. Interesting. We can kind of kill this, so we need to like make this softer, but they will have access to Ostingers, which is not great. I thought I would deal enough damage, but I didn't. So we bleed some here. Honestly, I would rather bleed Ostingers than my trusty guard captains when playing John Johnson. So yeah, we got like 3 extra law points here. That's amazing. So reflexes will let our creatures start faster, making us more consistent in fights. So day 5 we're here, and we really want to be reaching this, but it might be a little bit hard, but we'll do our best, right? And if we don't reach it, then we will recalibrate and just do the next best thing. Always have to be ready to just recalibrate and do the next best thing. We have like some resources and stuff available, so we're going to be going for more gold income. Already sitting at a whopping 7,000 gold per turn. So yeah. If we go straight there, we're going to be making it, you know, with like more than half a turn to spare. So we have a little bit more than half a turn to spare, but we will need to hit up the sawmill, and we'll need to hit up the ore mine too. So we need to be a little bit picky about what we do. The Haunted Mansion is pretty cool. There's also here an abandoned mansion. Yeah. I think that we are strong enough to even take on like a really big Haunted Mansion, and it's like a lot of gold too, which we still kind of need. So this is going to be the objective that I will do. You will do Maria's Altars, Trophy Hunter Dens, and so on, until you get like a little bit stronger, that you can take like the bigger objective. In terms of like being able to gauge what type of objective that you can do, there's really like no shortcuts to just getting like lived experience. Even these days, there's gonna be like games where I just like straight up die at the beginning of the game. Because, you know, I'm playing like a very good player that I feel pressured against, you know, I need to like make something happen, or I'm not favored. And so I might be pushing the limits, and I might actually just die sometimes. You really should not be afraid of that, as honestly it's just part of life, part of Heroes 3 life. Heroes of Might and Magic life. This one, Hero of Legends is fine. Resolve is really good though, because it will let us morale more consistently. Usually when playing in these sort of banks, you just kind of want to play for like a side. So we're going to be like dealing with everyone on the left with just damage from our units, and we're going to be dealing with everything on the right by just blocking them and eventually getting to them. That is the idea that we have. So yeah, can just start by blocking shooters and such. Nice. Then you can also, yeah, just put your one stack like behind them, and then they will actually just like run back for it. I could like just block this for a turn with a swordsman, but I don't even need to bleed a swordsman. I believe that Ostingers just got them. You see, like this guy is not reaching anyone, so he's like not even a threat. So we can just kill this instead and be fine. The ghouls are the big threats because they're actually gaining a lot of damage every single turn that passes. So like past turn 1, you really don't want to get hit by them. So make sure that you have a plan in how you're going to be handling them. You know, our plan here was to just bait them back for a turn and then knock them down soon after. We can just take a retaliation with our bulky, tanky Cavaliers. By the way, the skeletons are dealing 1 to 2 damage. All of these, like, the low tier flow unifies are trivially easy because of shields and shells. A very, very strong ability. It's like Shadow Blades, but, you know, like minus a Shadow Blades for the opponents. Shadow Blades referring to the +1 base damage from the offense. Okay, 2.5k gold and a nice useless artifact. Classic. So yeah, then, because we're passing through the Mercury, oh, I guess we're not passing through the Mercury. Passing through the wagon, wood and ore, very good. And yeah, now we get this. And yeah, you see, we're gonna be making it with 42 movement points left over. So we're gonna be able to get that really good creature growth. Then, you know, it's like getting towards the end of the week, so we want to make sure that we're building out all the units that we want to be playing. So that is going to be the Hippodromes, but we don't actually have enough wood. But we can rely on resource-rich steel. Usually this thing is reachable on week 1, And yeah, you can just rely on it. We can be picking up these. We would also really love the elite cavalry though. But that's gonna be like pretty hard. We might need to choose between elite cavalry and resource riches, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, we want to be building out our hippodromes, as that is gonna be the army that we are trying to make. Yeah. So now we just pass a turn. Yeah, I'm having like towns that are not like building every single turn. Yeah, it's gonna be like fine. I mean, it's unavoidable, it's expected, and you know, just not a big deal. We have the law points, so we can go resource riches. Actually, if we could flag the Radiant Forge, it would give us enough law points to go elite cavalry, increasing our growth by a further 1. But anyway, this item is awesome, so we're just gonna go for it. There's usually going to be like something interesting nearby him that you're going to be able to get. In our case, it was the 7 boots. Very randomly. It will make us strong. So yeah, we're just positioning our valuable stacks at the back. The exposed stack is going to be like the tankiest boy that can actually tank a hit without dying. Then we're just going to be, yeah, waiting, and yeah, we stand and deliver. It doesn't really have to be too clean. Awesome, a little bit of morale. We have leadership, we're playing castle, we have morale laws, we deserve this. Don't really want to, yeah, really don't want to lose a Cavalier because I'm already emotionally invested into having like a good stack of them. That's all the reason I need. Then yeah, we already have like a good set of skills, so now we're just going to be working on developing them. +2 attack for each point of morale. We're going to be having a lot of morale. Seems like a good skill. And you know, like these sort of like vibe-based calculations, like, you know, like I have some of this, so that sounds good. It's honestly like really good enough for Olden Era, which is awesome. The fact that the game was balanced and designed in a way where that's good enough is honestly like one of the main selling points. In Heroes of Might and Magic 3, we needed to do like a lot of like counterintuitive things in order to like succeed, because the obvious looking thing was usually a noob trap. But in Olden Era, that is not the case. Vibes are pretty darn good in Olden Era, which I love. Yeah, we can just like stay out. I don't think the Cav is gonna die. We have the anti-Shadow Blade, so they don't really deal a lot of damage. And we can always finish a fight with auto combat by using Shift Q hotkey. So now, in order to double build our Cavaliers, we're going to be needing to go for resource riches and build out the second, you know, Hippodrome. So now our Cavalier income is 5, and our Swordsman income is 36, and our Marksman income is 31. All of this income is coming from the fact that we have like many dwellings flagged. It's coming from our laws. We are getting laws for units as well. It's also coming from the dwellings as well. This one is giving, yeah, these two like Muse are giving us, you know, like 6 growth per town. And we also even have like a tier 1 dwelling that we managed to snatch as well. Our Cavalier income is still coming from, you know, free base, 1 from the Hippodrome and 1 from the Legion Boot. Instead of the Legion Boot, we could have actually just like flagged the Radiant Forge and gotten the Law for Elite Cavalry, which would have been actually the same amount of Cavalier growth. It's just that now we're getting some of the lower tier dwellings as well. I mean lower tier army. So, at the end of week 1, if you can, if you're not super preoccupied, you want to be placing yourself in a position where you're going to be able to immediately rally up some army. You want to like buy out both towns worth of army, and then you want to like start doing higher tier objectives. You want to be like upping the ante in terms of like the things that you're going to be doing. So yeah, we're going to be ending the turn here. We could already be picking up second wind as we have like 2 inside. So yeah, the general rule for astrology, pretty much with no exception, you always want to go second wind and then max it out. You know, the level requirement is 4, which is trivial. You're always going to be level 4. And it's really, really good. You know, it just gives you like extra moon points and a very significant amount. However, you need mana to use it. To have mana, you also need mage guilds. It's like investments. Because we have 1 knowledge, we're stupid as fuck. So we're not going to be investing any insight into anything because we are dumb. And that's okay. So yeah. Now we can just pass the turn, wait for the next turn, and be picking up our army. So yeah, because of our gold income, we ended up with 14,000 here at the beginning of the week. We will first prioritize on our power stack, which is going to be the Cavaliers. Then the second priority, I would say for us as playing John Johnson, is going to be the Swordsman. And the last priority is going to be the Marksman. Now, if you buy army from like one town and you're immediately dirt poor, instead of immediately TPing to the other town and then not being able to buy anything, you might just want to look around and be like, okay, what can I farm for gold before moving on to the other town and, you know, buying army there. In our case, we have Trophy Hunters then available, which we could do for some gold. We can also pass through a library, which is going to be like a lot of XP, but usually the guards are a little bit too big to do on week 1. But now we are in week 2 territory, so we can do this. What are our alternatives? Alternatively, we could actually TP to this town, farm some gold here as well, and then TP to this town and progress. Anyway, the first battle is in 2 days, so that means that after 2 times that I click end turn, we're going to be summoned into a battle. So we're playing this turn and the next. So yeah, let's, for the first battle, I mean, yeah, you always want to win these battles because it really changes the dynamics. You know, if you won the first battle, you don't have to be like as all in on fight 2 because, you know, even if you lose, you don't immediately lose the game. Okay, so we want to find some gold. We're going to be going into the Trophy Hunter's Den. Then we'll TP here, do the Black Tower and the Iridescent Abbey. These are like early game, like gold banks. For our current self, after already like rallying some army, it's gonna be like not really a problem for us. It's a little bit of a problem that our guardsmen are not stacked up, but we know that we upgraded them in the other town, and we know that we will be rallying from that town before long. So we can deterministically say that, you know, they will be upgraded in, you know, in a reasonable meantime. I do want to block for... Yeah, I really want to block for my swordsman. I don't want them to die. That was minus 11 Ostingers? Oh my god, these griffins hurt. And they also have infinity repels too, huh? Problematic. I actually underestimated them. Lost 11 and 7. Well, 9. I would have thought I would lose less. Now we can just be filling up our build with Everless Strike here, with Inspiring Strike, they're giving us resets on the Heroic Strike. So now we're kind of like a Heroic Strike god, you know, everything is like coming together, piece by piece, you know, like we made humble plans, we just kind of like progressed, we were reacting to the map, and you know, good things are happening. Our hero has 5 morale, meaning that we are maxed out on Heroic Strike capabilities. I mean, Heroic Strike reset capabilities is what I mean. These guys are annoying. Crystal Thorn, so whenever we hit them, we're gonna be just losing a unit straight up. Like a Death Stare, but a defensive one. So we really don't want to hit them. So that means that we just need to deal with them using Heroic Strikes as well as Ostinger shots. Should not really be too much of a problem. Yeah, now we can just unload. No Heroic Strike resets, but that's fine. We can just like level up the Righteousness for now. No reason to go into a new skill, I think. Unless we want to become a Swashbuckler. Do we want to go for memes on this guide? Sure. So, okay. This is when you should consider sub-skills, okay? So, right now, we have 3 slots open. And towards Swashbuckler, which is a good class, you should never consider, like, these sort of thoughts should never arise if you're not playing, if you're not even considering a good side class to begin with. So Swashbuckler is one of the in my opinion, viable subclasses. And that's because the skills that you're getting are pretty good. It's also like usually pretty achievable. So in terms of becoming a swashbuckler, we already have leadership complete. We have offense completing soon, so we already have like 2 things locked in. And we still have enough slots here. So if we pick luck, we will only need wisdom and nightshade. And that doesn't seem like too far-fetched. And luck is a good skill to have in general, so we will try and become a swashbuckler. We pick up more gold. And as we said, we are interested in all of the gold over here, so we can afford our army before the first fight. Yeah, let's do it. This is pretty sucky, but like, I'm pretty sure that it cannot be any better, because we're just completely getting outsped. For the sake of science, I will suffer and show you what a black tower feels like, and why I always avoid it. So, number 1 is the fact that they have like 12 initiative, so you're never like out the niche. Yeah, you're never winning on initiative. And then, yeah, they don't even have retaliation, so I can send in my tanky boy and just like retal to them and win that way. So, yeah, they're just leaving us without any other options apart from just tanking a pretty damn big hit, you know? And if you're in the early phase, you might even need to do multiple tank hits like that. Of course, you don't also want to get breath, so your depositioning is specific. Black towers are pretty awful until you can just like straight up, you know, make them irrelevant like I just did now. But even then we get hit. We should also probably consider casting for the Fanelka. Even if we don't have like a lot of knowledge, like a single like, you know, bless can do a lot of work. And we have wood, so we can just like build Mage Guild. And in Mage Guild, we have unlocked some specific spells. But we have not Bless, so we're just gonna unlock Bless. And then we also want to build another Mage Guild, despite already getting one. That's because that will upgrade some of the spells. You see like this bottom icon? Now the spell is actually level 2 even without the upgrade. So that means that the upgrade would get it to like level 3 now, which is pretty cool. However, we didn't get the one upgrade that we wanted. One thing. It is what it is. If we got Blessed 2 there, which was very, very likely, by the way, because we're playing Temple, then we could have picked up Sun's Grace, and then suddenly we have level 4 Bless. Level 4 Bless is 35% damage across the board for all of our army. You see, it's like that easy to get like a good low-tier spell to cast in your fights. But because we didn't get that, we may as well invest our points into melee training, because we're playing, most usually on Temple, it's going to be range combat, but because we're playing specifically John Johnson with Cavaliers, we're going to go melee training. And yeah, it fits our playstyle, fits our position, so we will do it. And now we're going to be playing the last turn before the first fight. Honestly, I have no idea how good the AI is, the unfair AI. I've seen some ridiculous things, and I've heard some ridiculous things. So, you know, I hope I'll be fine, but Lord knows. So yeah, these sort of objectives are pretty easy, just, yeah, go, go, go. It's not exactly a problem. Okay, and this should be about enough gold to build out the army. I will also try one more time for the Mage Guild, maybe? To get, like, Expert Bless? I mean... Yes, we got it! So now we need, like, a little bit of dust. We could be sacking one of these arties, we could be picking up dust off the ground. We already have the spell. Oh yeah, because we're in a Mage Guild, we probably would just want to pick up our second wind and then upgrade it as much as we can. We will be rallying our this stack. And because we're going to be going for the big Fanelka, we're also going to have like a little bit of Sun's Aegis just to balance it out. Pick up the cats most importantly, guard captain second most importantly, and that's all that we can afford. But this is a very solid army for the format, for the timing. All in context. And yeah. By this point, the next objectives from this, so yeah, getting to this stage is like pretty important. First you get wood, then you get, you know, wood and ore, then you get gold, then you look for dwellings and make a plan of like what type of army that you're going to be trying to lean into. Then you do your best to lean into that while developing a hero, just like whatever. And from this stage, what you're going to be doing is you will be pushing out into the sides. So you see, the minimap is looking like a triangle, the way that it should be. Usually it's like a cleaner triangle, but whatever. Our ones is dirty. So to the sides of this triangle, we're gonna be having another zone that will have like a little bit of a tougher fight, but it will lead into like more castle towns. So there's gonna be a castle town here and a castle town here. So we want to be expanding into those zones. So we just want to be farming up in that direction. And yeah, that's that really. And we also really want to upgrade our bless. So how do we upgrade our bless? I guess I can just sag this. We will delete this, get like a little bit of dust. And then we will use our dust to get blessing. Now we have blessing level 3. However, if we can afford this law, it's going to be level 4, and a level 4 bless is going to be pretty ridiculously good. I could have also went out for dust here, but we of course want to head in this new zone's direction. So, and I don't want to waste moves to go there. And power is kind of useless for us now anyway. Against these low tiers, we kind of want to split some. By this point, this dwelling could be considered picking up, but I will choose not to. Can pick up this up, can pick up this, you know. Can definitely be just making yourself useful along the way to wherever you're going. The next goal in terms of like getting more army are gonna be fortifications. Fortifications gives you like, you know, it will just give you like way more army production, so it's gonna be a pretty important thing. So it's good that we have like so much ore. Of course, it will cost gold too. So yeah, we can pick up Sun's Grace. Now our blessing is level 4. If we had some more law points, we would put it into Execute Excellence, which would give us an additional turn with the blessing. Because right now we don't really have like a big duration. Okay. We will make 2 1-stacks of Sun's Aegises for the buffs. Then we're going to be making 1 stacks of the Guard Captains, because that seems like a good idea. And we will see what the opposition will present us with. Ooh, we're playing versus the Tier 1 Schism Specialist. So there's probably going to be a lot of Tier 1 Schism units here. We will place 1 Sun's Aegis next to our shooters, from where we will be playing with the Cavalier Steel. And then we will get our Guard Captains to kind of be ready to go in as well, somewhat. Oh, that's quite a bit stronger than a player on the ladder. Damn. I hope we got this. Oh, wait, did we just get lightning bolted for our entire stack? Oh, we did. That's cool, I guess. Okay. Let us see. I want to set up this guy to be killable with a heroic strike so we can... Oh, right, we don't have battle thrill yet, so we don't get the reset off of killing. Okay. Then... yeah, let's fight. If we lose the first fight, then I hope I can outscale for the next one. We can take a retaliation here. That's gonna be all good. Oh yeah, we should have blessed before shooting with the Ostingers, but blessing now is fine too. So yeah, we have like a big buff. We also have like a lot of morale, so hopefully we're gonna be able to proc some of that. No luck yet. And yeah, we're just gonna be getting the hell in here. We took the retail here, so we're gonna be, you know, using the fact. We can try going for some heroic strike stuff. Ooh, this guy just casted Fig Hide, level 3. Sure. I think he has recruitment. 12 HP on these guys is actually pretty ridiculous. We will take a retaliation, and we will just slap. Oh, we can also slap. Dude, these John Johnson Guard Captains go hard. What the hell? They're amazing. And we will also like place the Sun's Aegises next to our guys. Okay, we are strong enough to beat this. That is pretty ridiculous. Honestly, I think I kind of high rolled this game to be able to win this fight. I would say this is usually like good enough. Yeah, this would be like a high ladder guy. in terms of like how much strength, though he did play like an absolute doofus, so maybe it didn't matter too much. So yeah, the first fight is gone, all the mana that we used is refunded, all the army that we lost is like still here, but we now have a victory point, so now we just need to get another. So we need... I just accidentally accepted that, but it's just a bunch of 1-stacks I think, so it's no problem. So yeah, this is the break between out of your first zone and going into the second. We also would love to upgrade the Cavaliers, that would make us quite a bit stronger too. And that's probably like, apart from building out the hero, that's gonna be our next method of progression. I misclicked and I got a morale. Awesome. Thank you. I love second chances. Okay, no longer dying. Nightshade! So Nightshade is interesting because that will get us only wisdom away from becoming a swashbuckler. So that's pretty cool. You know, we can like keep such options open. Wow, this is a set with this. Interesting. It is a decent artifact, so we may as well pick it up, I guess. So yeah, we are hella temple melee invested. It's actually better than I thought it would be. Dude, I'm gonna learn these strategies by doing guides. Hell yeah, I'm so down. The scav stack, yeah, this Cavalier stack is owning. Making this map look easy. Going over a river costs a lot of moves. Actually, it doesn't. Is that bridge helping us or something? So yeah. In the zone, yeah, we want it down. So this road is going to be leading down the desert. This road is connecting onto this one. So the road to the town is obviously going to be this one over here. So we're just going to be going for that. Right now, we already have like a decent amount of like second wind invested. So now we really want to find some knowledge to be able to like start benefiting from that. We also now want to be building out astrology. Okay, so by this point we have like enough army income, we have like quite a bit of gold income, so right now we are able to do fights. So the biggest, most important thing that we need to consider now is that we want to actually be taking a lot of fights. And we can do that by going astrology. Let's do this. And we also have an insight here. Insight is going to be immediately giving you like one of these points to be investing into... well, yeah, into getting the control scrolls. And also, these cats are like the most fun units to kill. I swear, it's so much fun dealing with the cats. Just have like some 1-stacks in front, big stacks at the back, and the assassin ready. Then what you do is you just wait. And you better pray that one of your stacks one-shots them, otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. Actually, I don't quite one-shot them. At least not consistently. Anyway, so now we will go. So what the Kitten Horn does is that whenever you get... whenever you kill this guy, you will be berserked. And what berserk does in Olden Era is you will immediately act and hit the thing nearest to you. So we... okay. So we hit this, we get berserked. We hit this, we get berserked. We hit this, we get berserked. And then we hit one of our own guys that we prepared in advance. So yeah, if you're one-shotting them, then it's really, really good. Now I can go offense, and we can go Shadow Blaze. Shadow Blaze will increase my base damage by 1. So our guard captains are dealing 2 to 3 damage, so 2.5 average. Shadow Blaze will make it 3.5 average. So that is like insane percentage damage growth for our guard captains, and Ostingers too, especially because they shoot twice. So they gain even like double the benefit. Shadow Blades is really, really good as long as you have like a substantial enough amount of like low tier army. Oh, I really hate that. We need to reset some heroic strikes or something here. Bang! Bang! Works every time. Sans Aegis would have made us have substantially less losses too. Yeah, with Shadow Blades, our 116 guard captains are one-shotting. So yeah, you see, our guard captains are 3 to 4 damage. His guard captains are 1 to 2 damage. So he's dealing 1.5, I'm dealing 3.5. I'm literally over double their damage. And that's not accounting for armor, offense, and, you know, hero stats as well. That's how you become, like, so powerful, at least from the perspective of EI. 1,000 damage, nothing personal. Had another attack loaded, bro. Infernal Circus, I mean, yeah, these Infernal Circs is a pretty good way to actually, like, round out your hero skills, because you get to buy straight-up expert skills there, which is, really good. So now we have to Insight, we can actually go max Second Wind, but, like, the main priority right now is finding enough knowledge to be using Second Wind twice a turn, which will then give us a very big amount of movement point boost. So far, I'm looking around this map. I mean, I see some knowledge here, but that's like a nightmare to get to. Like, you know, we go there, then we have to like go back for mana, and it's just like, doesn't really seem that good. So maybe for now, we will ignore the problem and in hopes that it will go away. We will also go Elite Cavalry twice, because this is our main file stack. And we will also want to build out the Hippodrome in this town as well, as we want as much armor growth as we possibly can. We're going to be using our ore to build fortifications around the place. Especially in the first two towns where I really don't care about which fortifications I take. In this template, I don't think it matters in any way, literally. And we can also pick up more astrology, since, you know, eventually we will get that knowledge, and we will need things based on that. Because we're so strong, we could go desert and try to find stats there, but I think that we will be playing it very tame, as this is like for the purposes of a guide. So we can go here. Dungeon has a special building called Gymnasium, which will level your hero up once immediately. We have like leftover gold, so honestly, and this can give me some knowledge too, so we will try it. We did not get knowledge. We will go for -1 HP on creatures. Is pretty good, because this is like -1 flat HP. So if there's like 300 of like tier 1 units in a stack, then this will make them have like 300 less HP in total on the entire stack. And with resistance, it would be of course 600. So against like low tier army, this is also like really good. But for us, we're Gold Darkest Knight, because in the last fight, he cast like a level 3 Nightshade spell. So for next fight, he might bring level 4s. Maybe we can knock it back down to level 3s. You know? That sort of, thing. Hey, Lena. So, yeah, so the other zone is gonna be here. We have, like, 2 guard choices, we have the nasty shooters, and we have nasty assassins. I'm not even sure which one I will do. I think I have enough initiative to just, yeah, bonk these guys. So let's go ahead and do that, and we're very hopeful to get some knowledge! Hey, you see? You know, you just like keep on playing and, you know, opportunities and choices will surely arrive. -2 guardsmen, that's okay, we can accept an auto. Oh, and oh my god! So this, wow, this is quite the package actually. So this is gonna be, it's a thing that you visit and you get like 50% mana capacity until the end of the week. And this is a magic well, it will fully restore our mana. And this is an Altar of Insight, which gives us another point towards getting more control spells. And we just have all of that right here. I'm wondering if maybe I should trade up some things. Yeah, you know what, I really don't need these precious resources for anything, so I'll just like dump them for wood. Could have like went for some more marketplaces first, but whatever. We will be building into the Hippodrome, but first, more astrology. Getting these control spells going is going to be super important and very nice. Then yeah, M. Yeah, you click M in order to open market, by the way. So yeah, more astrology. So now we're getting some serious astrology already. So you see how that transition happens? Week 1, gold. Week 2, astrology. When we already can fight. You know, like seamless transitioning. So you want this first. And then we want the well. Then we have to decide whether we want the insight. I think we do. And we're going to be pathing past the Troll Died From, which is like a big gold objective, and we want big gold objectives. We want big gold objectives so much, we might even go to the research laboratory soon, where you fight insanely big, massive tier 8 creatures that cast Bone Armageddon. It's ridiculously strong, but we're also ridiculously strong. It only takes, like, a few things. I really hope we can become a swashbuckler. That would be so much fun. Wait, these guys are gonna kill one? No! They're Death Stare bros. I always forget about them. And I remembered to check as I was flying in. So we just lost like one Cavalier. It's okay, like... Something. Omelets break eggs. Something. So yeah, now we have mana. So that's pretty cool. We just become like a very good mage. We have like Blessing 4 and actually mana to use it. A little bit of duration already present, so that's awesome. We're just gonna rip it. We're just gonna be one-shotting those across the battlefield. Don't mind me. Then we can... Wait, do we have Battle Frail? We don't, so we don't reset. So we just hit anywhere. Not expert combat yet. It's pretty funny. So yeah, that's actually like a big fight. This boss is massive. And now I'm scared for my life a little bit, but whatever. We can't reset any heroic strikes today. Unfortunate. Oh boy. And they're moraling on me. They start on the new one? Wow. 19 tier 1s lost. That's a lot of army lost, but, you know, happens. What do we get as a reward? Is 20,000 gold. That's big. We're gonna be able to get a lot of army boosts off of that. We are fighting a bunch of Medusas and a bunch of Minotaurs. That's not the easiest thing that I've seen, but... By this point, with everything that we've got, we are strong. And we will not be pretending we're not. I would really love to block that Medusa from shooting. I believe I'll just, you know, shoot this. Well, yeah, I'll just block it. Yeah, you can just like place a 1-stack next to the shooter, and the shooter is gonna be disabled for a turn. Cavaliers are super fast, very nice. And shift Q to enter when the fight is already done. 12,000 gold. So we are 40,000 gold now! Okay, fortifications are incoming. Let's go. Then what else are we doing? Well, we need to build a Zippodrome, and I really have no need for precious resources. At some point I could maybe go for a Mage Guild, but honestly I don't really feel like it. I feel like we're just gonna get our spells off the map. It's a surprisingly reliable way to do so. Sources of gold produce 10 gold. I think that this law is actually pretty good, but now that we have infinity gold, we're just gonna go for melee training. Then the moment that you unlock this tier, if you're playing at all for morale, then you want to get encouragement max. This is like the best thing. At max rank, if you're maxing out your morale and you're gonna be at 5 morale, this law will give you 15% chance to morale. Yeah, 15% extra chance to morale. Now that our moves are over, we can just be casting Second Wind. Yep, that's just how it goes. Yeah, the moves, just Second Wind, lol. And because we already maxed out our Second Wind, we can cast it again. So you see, we can just keep playing our turn. And that's very nice, very good, very strong. That's why Second Wind is so good. Old bus here. It might come at a cost of it might come at a cost of one you see, I mean, we got encouragement and now we're moraling already. Yeah, we might be able to not second win twice anymore next turn because of this pretty greedy cast, but it's fine. Do we take the retail? I guess we do. And then we slice. Oh. 20,000 experience, oh. So we just are really looking for wisdom, so so that we can become a swashbuckler. That'd be also hella fun. So yeah, there's gonna be a town in the zone, and we will want to build out another hippodrome. So it can be quad building cavaliers, imagine. That's gonna be awesome. And the next point is in... Oh my god, I have to do maths. 3.5 for plus 3.2, 6.7k. We are gaining 7.5, we're gaining a point. We can actually have Dimension Door next turn, but we'll not have the mana to use it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I think that if you have no ways to solve the terrain penalty and you want to go desert early, you might actually consider going to putting a point in Shadowfly. It's gonna be like free insight, and you get it once, and then you're able to fly, which is pretty good. But if you have like any terrain penalty removal, then usually Dimension Door is gonna be like the more preferable one of the two. So yeah, we knew that we had these castle towns around our starting area. We ventured out into getting them. We made sure to farm good-looking objectives along the way. And now we are in this position, which is pretty nice. There's not really anything to interact with there. I would just have to suffer and watch my units die. No thanks. Now that we're looking for a way to become a swashbuckler, going to like this Infernal Cirque is gonna be a pretty cool choice. Option. Do you have a mage here? We don't. I'm gonna be just actually immediately buying out into the Hippodrome. That's very cool. And we can immediately pick up the calves. And we have 6 growth of them. Beautiful. Wait, why is it 6? Oh yeah, we had 5, then we picked up the law. So yeah. What these Infernal Circus do is that you get to buy out straight up expert level skills here. The only downside of the objective is that it's usually like pretty massively guarded. So, you know, they're not like a cakewalk or anything. You have to actually like fight here in order to access these, but when you can, they're pretty good, especially if you're going to be looking for some specific skills, such as me right now looking for my... Wait, are these parry? Okay, they're not parry dudes. Parry would mean that they retail before they get hit, and that would be a problem. Then we would probably have to like kite away, use our Rogue Strikes, use our Austingers. Wisdom! Wisdom! We're gonna be a swashbuckler in this game. Oh my god. Wow. 30% extra mana, by the way. Hell yeah. And now we can learn all tier spells. So the moment that we lock in these skills up to expert, we're going to be becoming a swashbuckler, making our heroic strike deal a bunch more damage. Don't look at the 60 number, it's kind of misleading. What it says is that your heroic strike deals a bunch of damage. Oh my god, though. I did not expect this in my guide game. I'm just having fun, lol. Sorry. Okay. So now that you have like both of your towns, you want to be building out as much astrology. Yeah, so you're like fixing up all the issues when it comes to like your knowledge. You're getting like some casting here and there. You're making sure to farm objectives along the way to the towns. You're making like further investments, like kind of passively. And just with whatever is available, you know? Yeah. And you get to this stage. So basically, this is what you're going to be doing for like the entirety of week 2. Just getting these other towns. And trying to invest whatever you can. Sometimes it's gonna be like pretty hard to be investing and also progressing at the same time. So it might just be progressing through the towns, not doing like a lot of investment for some point because you just genuinely don't have any like wood or ore. And that's gonna be like a pretty common situation too. Because our build out was pretty easy to deal. Yeah, we don't really like have any such problems. Because, you know, like, calves are, you just, like, build one building. There's, like, no prerequisites, which made it pretty easy. Yeah, we're gonna be locking in the Swashbuckler ASAP. Expert Nightshade. Expert Nightshade has like this very cool talent of Hour of the Wolf. Minus 10% attack and defense to enemy creatures. Might be overlooked by many, but like that's a lot of attack and defense skill. And we also get a ribcage armor. Lots of defense skill again. So yeah, we're getting arties, we're getting stuff. Now that we have like a pretty good max mana pool, we really want to be ending our turn in a town. We can use our second wind again. And then, yeah, just like explore, pick something up. And then end the turn in a reasonable town that I want to rally from. You know, because we're gonna be, it's gonna be the beginning of the next week. So we want to be getting a bunch of army. And now we want to be like looking to upgrade our cavalry and so on. We have like 5 days until the battle, so until then, we want to become stronger in the hero, and also I'll rally up all the army that we ended up getting. So yeah, oh yeah, let's finish up the encouragement, and let's get some knowledge in here. Because, you know, we really need mana. So we can, yeah, just go back to the main starting town. And yeah. Are we getting any more forts? I don't think so. We're kind of like poor, and also we don't even have that much gold, so I think this will do. So now we can just, oh yeah, we are also getting the Dimension Door. Actually, I probably would have preferred Fly here, because now we are going to be going into the desert, and we do not have any terrain penalty removal, so life is going to suck for like a little bit, but whatever. So yeah, we're going to be picking up our Cavaliers, and honestly just like the rest of our army. Army is good. And we are already, actually we still have like decent gold, but we're gonna be needing even more in order to like buy out all of the towns and also upgrade. So right now, at this point, after you rally the army again, you're becoming like really strong. You really want to be like starting to consider doing like end game objectives. So end game objectives are going to be Dragon Utopias. Those are the deadliest of all. I would avoid them for like a pretty long time. But the two really good ones are going to be 1, Research Laboratories, and 2, Overgrown War Ruins. Overgrown War Ruins are amazing and probably like the best objective to do in the entire game. They give you like everything, and they're pretty easy to do at the same time, at least for like the standards of like a late game objective. Unfortunately, we do not see any Overgrown War Ruins, so we will need to do the second best thing, and that is going to be the Research Laboratory. So yeah, we're going to be popping into the closest town next to it. It's also really good because it's next to a town that we want to rally from. So we can come over here, we can get all of our guard captains in order, we can pick up the cavaliers. We even have 83 marksmen available. Our army growth is disgusting. Holy, how many of these could I buy? You know what? Screw it, let's get them. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to rally, but we're about to get a bunch of gold from this. We can use our Dimension Door. 37 Cavaliers is a lot of army. It would feel like even more army if we were to upgrade them. And yeah, our small stacks are also doing like a really good job. It's kind of surprisingly low damage. Oh, okay. These guys have the thorns, so we just want to heroic strike and shoot them down. And yeah, we fight 4 of these Lich Dragon. We have 1000 HP, 66 attack and defense, and they have like this thing, Bone Armageddon, which is gonna absolutely decimate you. So the point is to not give it that much focus. It gets focus whenever it attacks and whenever it gets hit. So you can like really reduce the amount of focus that it's getting by hitting it less. So only hit with your high damage, high hitting things, and usually it turns out fine. We have 9 initiative. I think I will sack a Cavalier for this, just to be able to do it safely. And I'll show you how that helps. So the Cavalier is going to have like an initiative lead on it, so I'm going to be able to move first. So here's what's gonna happen. Because I'm moving first, I can actually just place myself in their reach on purpose. Then when they move, they will actually come here and hit. They have like this huge construct where they hit like all of this area around it. If you like let them do their own thing, they're just gonna absolutely decimate you. So you want to be usually controlling them in some sort of way, you know, like making them somewhat predictable. No heroic strike resets, and we will take a retaliation. This is not really avoidable. What is avoidable is hitting with this guy. This guy would just give a bunch of focus to him. We don't want that. So yeah, then we can come in with our super heavy hitter stack. And yeah, we can finish it without doing the Bone Armageddon. The sack a Cavalier. We get 40,000 gold. Slivering Sash. Slivering Sash is pretty cool. It will give us even more caster stats. So now our stats are looking way better rounded after a few of these bigger objectives. Now we have a bunch of moves. What do we use them for? Just kind of literal or whatever. I could actually just run to this town. So right now we rally the army from our main town, then we TP'd here and rally the army from here, so we have these two towns on the corners that we still haven't rallied from. Notably, when we rally at the last town, we also want to be probably picking up the upgrade for the Cavalier of Steel, for which we're going to be needing dust. I have no idea where we're getting dust. Also Daylight Shrine. Ooh, Riposte. Riposte is going to be making us counterattack before we get hit, which is pretty useful. We have like 2 second wins. We have a lot of moves. Honestly, we might just be running all the way over here. And we can also pick up the Soul Caller's Ring and the Tree of Knowledge. Very useful things. In terms of like this, we can go for Vengeful Strike, which is going to be increasing our retaliation damage by a lot. Especially with Riposte, that's going to be like pretty good. This is like a pretty bleedful fight, but the item is really good. It will reduce the opponent's spell levels, which is very, very nice. We could haste in, we could... Dude, everything sucks. Their initiative is 14, mine one is 12, so they're moving last as well. Oy, oy, oy. Maybe we just haste in? No, actually we'll just tank. We're losing the crossbowmen or something. I care, but... oh well. Now, this is kind of what we call a Vijayapka. We're losing a lot here, and we're definitely not gaining whatever we're losing. Fights like this are realistic, okay? This is just what's gonna happen once in a while, and that's okay, you know? It's not about not having a VGFK, it's just making it through. I don't even know what this word means. I think just enough Polish people around me use it that I kind of vaguely know it by this point. Holy moly, we are speed. Yo, you seeing this? Okay, so I thought the Noble Cavalry would be a problem. No. We are the cavalry. We are the problem. Can I morale? No. We're gonna be able to reach that stack. Then what else are we using? I mean, we can use a blessing. I mean, losing the shooters here. The shooters were mascots anyway, right? Nice, a little bit of morale to be able to block. A little bit of morale to be able to block. This is a pretty ambitious fight now that I look at it. Kind of felt God mode. I mean, how incorrect are we, really? Yeah, lose quite a bit of shooters. We're gonna be like trying to lock in every single swashbuckler. Skill. Yeah. We can do Beastly Confidence. It will give us like more luck chances. And yeah. Now we become the swashbuckler! Hey! We didn't need to become a swashbuckler, by the way. Like, this is just like, you know, a little bit of an extra lucky player that really just didn't even need to happen. So keep in mind. that even if this doesn't happen, the game's like perfectly fine. I guess we probably do second win, though we don't reach the town, which is pretty unfortunate. I actually thought I would. Then I'm gonna be getting more knowledge. I want to be getting as much mana as I can. Then, yeah, we're gonna be being to this town, so we probably want to upgrade creatures here when we're here. Well, getting dust is gonna be a problem. Maybe we upgrade a little bit later then. Yeah, maybe. And yeah, this like down-to-town running is like pretty Papega. Whenever you can, you should be avoiding doing that, but nah. Sometimes we do a little bit of running it down. We can delete the items that we're probably not using. Honestly, we can even delete the Legion boot if we want to. And that would give us the upgrade. That would then make us really, really strong. I also really want to upgrade the garrison here, because we have like some men to upgrade. We still even have like a bunch of shooters here too. We can use our insight to upgrade the dimension door. Now we have a cheaper and a longer dimension door. I think that we will farm in the zone for like 1 turn and then return into this town. And then we'll run into the desert. Sometimes you will go desert earlier, sometimes you will go desert later. It really just depends on the kind of game that you're having. I just like find a lot of value in just chilling around here. We are already a swashbuckler. If we would get like Excalibur right now, that would be insane. Well, I wouldn't really expect it though. Yeah, we can do all of this. 78? No. Enough is enough. 45 cavalry. Do you have early start? No. Our heroic strike is now, by the way, dealing 500 damage. Wow. And that's even without expert combat quite yet. Yeah, and we can have like many of those per turn. So you see like the swashbuckler thing, it's very important, very good. So they'll probably just go on our shooters. Oh, they actually just really hate the Johnson stack. I mean, we are dealing the same damage after all. Expert combat, finally battle thrill, holy. Dude, oh, and this is the warrior runes that I was talking about actually. And that's pretty good, except that we're missing 1 mana point from being able to do it on this turn. That's pretty sad. But yeah, this is like the objective where you get everything. Dust, wood, every single resource, gold. You name a thing, you get it there. We also happen to get Holy Sigil of the 7 Magi. It will give us Sorcery, Nightshade, and Resistance sub-skills. So we only have Nightshade, so we're getting all of that. Which is pretty good, you know. It's not nothing. And yeah, we're barely not able to do this. That's very sad. But I do believe that we should be disciplined and just TP away right now. And then we can just get a mage guild here. In terms of our law, by this point we have like most of the things that we want. So we can just like invest in some attack skill or something. It doesn't really like matter that much. At least I don't think. So now we have rallied up all of our army. We will be passing the turn. So now we have like 2. Yeah, so we have rallied most of the army. Actually, all of the army, I think. I will sack like an artifact in order to get the dust for it. Most usually you will have done a war ruins by this point, so you will never need dust ever again. After like a single war ruins, you just have infinity dust. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's not really available for us right now. So we will be hard trading the wood, and then we will upgrade the hippodrome, making us 4. Anyway, yeah, we can upgrade our cavalry into beautiful Sunspear cavalry, which will be super, super powerful. They have insane stats, insane speed, and they will one-shot everything that we ever want them to one-shot. And we can also go for Vengeful Strike. So yeah, now we're just gonna be heading to desert. We already have like 1 big DD. The moment that we get to Insight, we will already have like double Dimension Door as well. So in the desert, what you're gonna be looking at, I mean, this is basically like your bigger, yeah, your endgame zone. And it has like an extension as well. So you're gonna be able to find like a lot of mountain monasteries, which is to all stats. The boxes will also very oftentimes have stats, which is interesting. So in here, you're gonna be able to get like so many stats, it's kind of insane. And then there's also gonna be a portal to lead into like even the deeper desert as well. Because the game is gonna be possibly over in a tiny little bit, I actually do kind of want to show you like what the zone looks like. Is there any army that we didn't pick up? Oh yeah, only like some of the shooters over here. Might actually want to go back there and upgrade before the fight, but we will see. No need to counter chickens before they hatch. Wow. Ends up being a fight, eh? Okay. Can't ever have it easy. I mean, yeah, we can just like hasten and kill some. Maybe morale? Was decently likely. Oh yeah, we can. Oh, no resets. Lose a cavalier here. Pretty unfortunate, but in order to access the big desert, gotta be no problem. So in this zone, it's you're gonna be finding two special buildings, which are very, very notable, especially if we're gonna be going for the third fight. One is the 4 Scholar Shrine. This is going to be resetting your hero skills entirely. You're going to be just having your like basic righteousness and basic armor, and you can relearn everything. Relearn the sub skills, like relearn into new skills. You can actually try to fish for like a secondary class here, and it's really nice. It will also have, the zone will have like an insane amount of like very high tier items as well, such as the Warlord's boots here, dragon scale armor, you know. All of the big endgame artifacts will most likely be found here. So we're going to be farming a few to get ourselves strong before the second fight. Yeah, very notable. This is only the second fight coming up, but we already are very, very strong. Oh, looking moraling a lot. I can actually feel the luck as a skill here helping me out a lot, which is pretty cool. Yeah, if we could find Excalibur, that'd be awesome. We can also grab our second dimension door here. It does upgrade, even if you don't go back into the town. You just straight up get it. And then what do we do with the rest of our time? Also with the rest of our law. We can do Hero's Blessing. Friendly creatures gain 25% of hero spell power knowledge as attack and defense respectively. So this is basically like a small battle magic and a law. Just basically giving us more stats. Very good law. So yeah, we can... I mean, I can just pick up something concretely useful, or I can just like, you know, explore around. I'll choose to explore around. Ooh, -1 cab there. It's not that bad, but it feels bad. And also without the rain penalty, you can't really like move a lot here easily. So yeah, it would be way nicer being here without the terrain penalty, but yeah. What can you do? Alright, they have area strike. Oh, it's whatever. Oh, just gold. Okay. So now, because it's like right before a fight, it's gonna be pretty smart to come back into homely town. And yeah, what we're gonna be doing is we will upgrade our marksmen here, because we have like a bunch of them, so it just seems like a useful thing to do. One of the most useful things to do right before a Finalca. Rally up everything that we... Wait, what? Alright. I thought I built something wrong. But in fact, I just didn't build. So yeah, these are our free stacks that we invested from the very beginning of the game. We were like aware of them, we wanted them, and now we have like so many of them. We have built them out from every single town. We are very well rallied for a fight team. We have like some casting here and there. To be honest, the casting is like not really that great. But at the very least we have like some blessing and stuff, so how bad can it be? Actually, I will unlock a natural calm. Getting like some casting before Fanelka is gonna be like pretty important. And a natural calm is a very powerful spell, and because we have Nightshade, I think it's gonna be useful. And because we're fighting, we may as well delete the Legion Boot by this point. It would be very bad to not have it if we don't win, but I don't know. I feel like our win odds are gonna be pretty good. We will equip this. So yeah, we have like a very nice balance of things. We have like heroic strikes to rely on, we have like some buff, debuff casting going on, good power stack, lots of initiative, and such. So let's see what the AI will bring for fight number 2. Oh. Well, they did bring quite a bit more stuff, I guess, but yeah, I'm not entirely impressed. Alright. We shall now commence the heroic striking. Aw. Only that much? We're a swashbuckler, mate. We deserve more. Did he just guillotine my ass on a tier 1 unit? I mean, yeah, alright. Wait, actually we do want to just straight up bless. Our Ostingers are one-shotting things across the map. Our guard captains are gonna be just holding the line super well. And yeah, our cavalry stack here that we invested into from the very beginning is just like a one-shot machine by this point. Again, heroic strike here, heroic strike here. Do a little bit of a lightning bolt. No morales on +5. But anyway, peace. Unfair AI, beaten, first attempt. And that's how you win Exodus. If you want to see me doing this against the top level players of the game in PvP live matches, then catch me live on twitch.tv/Lekshav. I'll be there, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow with the next template guide. I hope you find this informative, enjoyable. I'm going to be reading all of your feedback before recording the next one. Cheers, and see you next time.